Here, I bring you the novels behind your favorite manga, Manhwa, and Manhua, whether by translating or simply reading them for you. Let's dive into the stories that inspire the comics we all love. I got a cheat ability in a different world, and become extraordinary even in the real world. Volume 15. Prologue. Part 1. I had the same dream again. Sarasama, please run away. The people of Motra said to me. The Earth spent many years creating these humans, but the gods treated humans like toys and ruled over them. Therefore, the Earth created me to save her beloved children, the humans. To protect the mission given to me by the Earth, I liberated the humans from the gods and founded a great nation called Motra. Motra developed various technologies through the hands of humans and grew into a beautiful country. But there is no trace of it anymore. The gods summoned the divine beast, and it was destroyed. The beast has a huge body, almost half the size of Motra's, and is still slaughtering people. How could I escape and leave you all behind? I, who was created to be the protector of mankind, could not possibly run away and leave my people behind. But the people would not give in. No, they are not after us. They are after you. Exclamation. You must have noticed. They are trying to drain the star power to take complete control of the Earth. Yes, as the humans said, the gods' target was not me but the Earth's star power. Although it is already in a state of destruction, the reason we are still able to fight the divine beast is largely due to the star power we get from the Earth. However, this star power is not infinite. The more people, including myself, resist the gods, the more the star power will be depleted. If the star power continues to be depleted at this rate, the Earth will face extinction. When that happens, this land will belong to the gods. I had to avoid that. But even so, I, who was created to be the protector of humanity, cannot abandon you. Sarsarma. Besides, just as our power is limited, even the gods are not absolute. It is true that the divine power of the gods is terrifying and powerful. You could say they are omnipotent. With this power, they can create not only human beings but also an infinite number of other life forms and even write the laws of the world. But it is the Earth and the star power that blocks such a powerful force. This land did not belong to the gods. It belongs to the Earth. There was no way I could allow such an outrage on Earth. So I will never give up. You too must lend me your strength. Sarsarma. Nevertheless, the gods gathered divine power and created a disaster called the divine beast. Unlike the gods, the divine beast cannot create life, nor can it write the laws of the world. But as the incarnation of destruction, it destroys all life on this planet. We fought such a monster. People fell one by one. However, I did not give up and continued to fight. But then... Why? Suddenly, my body was pushed down considerably. It was trying to drag me, who had star power, down without even a moment's resistance. Confused by the sudden situation, I turned my eyes to see what it was. There, with its lid open, was a golden coffin. The coffin relentlessly sucked me in and locked me inside. What the hell is this? Open it. I frantically pounded on the inside, but the coffin would not budge. Even with my star power, which was equal to divine power, the coffin would not budge. I had never seen such a thing before, but it was inevitable. Because this coffin was created by the Earth. We are sorry, Sarasama. We have no choice but to do this. What are you talking about? Get me out of here. I said desperately, but the people would not let me out of the coffin. The coffin was the result of the people's wish to the Earth to let me escape. And the Earth responded to that wish. That is why I cannot escape from the coffin. Because I am a being created by the Earth. Sarasama, you are this planet's last hope. This voice was filled with immeasurable determination. What do you people think? Don't be stupid. Sarasama, please live. With our pride. The next moment, I felt my consciousness fading. I tried desperately to hold on to my consciousness, but I could not resist. Stop, stew up. And then my consciousness was cut off. I don't know what happened after that. Then I would dream about that scene. Again and again, the same dream. Every time I dreamt, I reached out for it again and again, but since it was a dream and yet real, there was nothing I could do about it. So I prayed. I hope the people of Motra the Earth are safe. And please wake me up. We returned from the battle against Tien and the others in the Between Worlds. But soon after our return, a battered Iris-san came to me. Iris-san, are you okay? I took out a bottle of complete recovery herb juice and gave it to Iris-san, who I hurriedly held in my arms. The wounds on Iris-san's body disappeared in an instant. Thank you. Iris-san. It looks like she fainted. Naya. The complete recovery herb juice could completely heal wounds, but couldn't restore lost strength. Let's go to Sage-san's house first. I took Iris-san in my arms and went to Sage-san's house immediately. Then I put her on the bed and took a break. How could this odd Saint Iris-san be in such a state? What on earth could have happened to her? Could it be that something related to evil has happened again? Anyway, I have to report to Rime-sama about what happened in the Between Worlds and... While I was thinking about this, Mako opened her mouth. I'll take care of Iris-sama, so why don't you go back to your home on Earth? Can I ask you to do that? Yes. Thank you. Well then, Stellar, let me introduce you to my family. Naya. Following Mako's words, I took Stellar with me and returned to my house on Earth. Then, for some reason, everyone, including Lexia-san, were gathered in the room where the door to another world was placed, that is, in the storage room. Yuria-sama. Meanwhile, Lexia-san was the first to notice me, and as soon as she ran up to me, she hugged me with all her might. Lexia-san. Yuya-sama, are you okay? Why, yes. I'm fine, but... I was confused because I didn't expect to be hugged by her. Then Luna immediately came over and grabbed Lexia-san's neck. What are you doing? Get away from him. I'm not leaving him. You will leave him. After Luna forcibly pulled away Lexia-san, the two began to argue as usual, but as soon as the argument was over, Luna turned her attention to me. More importantly, welcome back. Yuya. Thank you. What can I say? I'm happy to hear someone welcome me back. When I smiled at Luna, she looked at Lexia with a triumphant expression on her face for some reason. How's that? This is what you call the right distance with Yuya. Miyuki-I. What? But it's okay. Unlike Luna, I already hugged him. What did you say? Somehow, they started arguing again. While I was smiling at the two of them, Kuya-san and Alma-san came up to me. You're back. Alma-san, Kuya-san. How are you? How was the Between World? There was a lot going on, but we made it. Again, I briefly explained what had happened in the Between World. After listening to my story, Kuya-san groaned. I see, because they were rejected by their world, they invaded different worlds to get the ideal lands. That's a pretty big story, but I am more surprised that this one who was rejected from the world is here than those people. Naya Tilda. Alma-san looked at Stellar as he said that. The one in question, Stellar, was not paying any attention to Alma-san and was just sitting there absent-mindedly. While watching her, I asked about something that was on my mind. Speaking of which, what's going on with everyone gathered here? Oh, that's right. Yuya-sama, there is a big problem. Eh? I tilted my head at the agitated Lexia-san, and Kuya-san opened his mouth with a confused look on his face. I don't know where to start. I think we should start with that woman, right? A woman. Look here. In the direction Luna pointed, there was a strange woman with red hair. The woman seemed to be unconscious and asleep. Who is she? When I said this, everyone looked at each other, surprised to see a complete stranger in the room. Then Alma-san opened his mouth on behalf of everyone. The woman came out of a coffin that was lying there. A coffin. When I turned my head, Alma-san pointed in a certain direction. There, I saw what looked like a pharaoh's coffin, which I had seen many times before, lying completely open. There was a person in there. I see that you didn't know about it either. And now moving on to part 2 of this prologue. The story is just getting more exciting, so let's dive right in and see where it takes us. I see that you didn't know about it either. That's only natural. After all, everything in that storm was collected by my grandfather, and I had nothing to do with it. But from the look of that coffin, I thought maybe there was a real mummy in there. I mean, there's no way I'd think a living person would be in there. I agree. Everyone was surprised. Only Yuri was as excited as usual, but from the looks of everyone else, even Alma-san didn't seem to notice. Rather, how long has she been in there? How is she even still alive? I'm confused by the situation, and I can't stop thinking about it. But then another bomb was dropped on me. Well, Yuya, there's something else I have to tell you. Why, yes. It's about Knight and the others. Knight? Huh. Speaking of which, where are Knight and the others? If everyone was here, it was not surprising that Knight and the others were here, but for some reason, not only Knight, but even those who go at their own paces, like Akatsuki and Seal, were not here in this storage room. While I looked around, Kuya-san continued, looking like he was having a hard time explaining. Knight and the others disappeared. Huh. I couldn't understand what Kuya-san meant, so I just kept asking back. What do you mean by disappeared? It means exactly what it says. Knight and the others were in this room with us, but a piece of the mask that was hanging there fell on them, and when they touched it, they disappeared. There are indeed some creepy masks hanging on the wall in the place Kuya-san pointed out. However, the number of masks had decreased. Disappeared, you say? Where? I never had much of a feeling about it, but Alma-san and the others said that this room was a dangerous place where various powers swirl around. And one of them, the mask, was not considered normal, of course. If something happened to Knight and the others. I panicked, but Alma-san opened his mouth. I can understand your concern, but I'm sure they'll be fine. How can you be so sure? Knight is a black Fenrir comparable to me. You know. Besides, Akatsuki is also a special being, and even the Loon Seal is with them. No matter what happens, I'm sure they'll be fine. And maybe, but I know that Knight and the others are also strong. But there was another concern besides that in my feelings. More importantly, you have a lot of work to do right now, don't you? The same goes for the little girl sleeping there, but isn't there something going on in the other world as well? Alma-san was right, and Iris-san asked for my help. But I still don't know what it meant. Then Kuya-san put his hand on my shoulder. For now, just do what you can, one thing at a time. I'll look into the masks with Alma. Don't worry. Knight and the others will be fine. I agree. Knight and the others are strong. Besides, if Yuya disappears too, we will lose control of the situation. If I touched the mask on the wall and something happened to me, I would end up neglecting Iris-san, who came to seek my help. Besides, we still don't know anything about the woman sleeping there. All right. Sure, there are a lot of things in this room. But none of the things in here have ever brought me bad luck. There have been times when I've found some extraordinary things lying around, such as the blueprints for weapons on Merle's home planet of Emil, but it's all been good, such as my meeting with Kuya-san. Most of all, I would like to think that no matter how big of a collector Grandpa was, he didn't collect dangerous things. I understand. I would appreciate it if you could do some investigation on the masks. Omu, you can leave it to me. I will ask Rieme-sama about it. It was my carelessness as well. I will do my best. Kuya-san and Alma-san said they would investigate the mask. When I was relieved, Lexia-san called out to me. Hey, Alma-sama mentioned earlier that something happened in the other world that's our world, right? What happened? Well, actually. Master, Iris-sama is awake. When I was about to talk about Iris-sama, Mako came to call me. It seemed that Iris-sama had just woken up. Stellar and I immediately went to see Iris-san and Lexia-san, Luna, and Yudi followed us. Alma-san and Kuya-san seemed to be keeping an eye on the mysterious woman. Then Lexia-san noticed Stellar at my feet. Come to think of it, you haven't really introduced me to the child yet. Well, I'll introduce her to you later. T/N well, I'll just assume Stellar is a female with that name :D. Nayar. It's so cute. Upon hearing Stellar's greeting, Luna's cheeks flushed red, and she murmured softly. When I went to Iris-san like that, she tried to move her body vigorously as soon as she saw me. Yuya-kan. Ugly. Iris-san. But it seemed that she had not regained all of her strength, so I hastily took Iris-san in my arms and laid her down again. Please take it easy. I'm sorry. I was in a hurry and... That Iris-sama is in such a state, what in the world happened? Although her wounds had healed up, her clothes and other things were in tatters, and it was obvious at a glance that she had been involved in a fierce battle. So Luna, who was well aware of Iris-san's usual strength, asked her in surprise. Then, there was a declaration of war. A declaration of war. As I tilted my head, not understanding the meaning, Lexia-san opened her mouth. Did a country start a war? If so, I don't quite understand why Iris-sama is in such a state. Strong. Iris is strong, and since she's a holy, she shouldn't have anything to do with the war. Iris-san nodded as each of them said this. Yudi is right. The enemy is not a country. Not a country, then what in the world are we up against? I thought we defeated the evil before, but don't tell me that the evil has returned with the power of the evil cult. It's the holy! Exclamation. Our eyes widened at Irisan's words. I thought it was possible that the remnants of the evil cult had resurrected another evil from another era, but that was not the case. Surprisingly, the opponent was the same holy as Irisan. Why did the same holy could it be that they received the power of evil just like before? No, it was not the power of evil, it was a power similar to the divine authority we had acquired. How? Divine authority was the power we acquired to defeat the false god under the observers. As the name implied, it's a godlike power, but while the observers could do anything with it, our divine authority can do small things like instant movement and body enhancement. However, in order to acquire this power, we had given up being human, and even though it was not perfect, it was a power worthy of the name divine authority. The opponent was using divine power, and while ours was imperfect, theirs was like the power of a perfect god. Perfect, does that mean they're the same as the observers? No, I think it's more mysterious, and that's what a real god is like. Certainly, the observers were just denizens of the dimension above, and although their power was tremendous, they were different from God. However, the holy who possessed divine power, as described by Irisan, were beings similar to the God we know. The holy who possesses this divine power have declared war on the world. They want people to surrender to their control, and if anyone refuses, they will kill them. We were horrified. How could they do such a thing? They only want one thing. They want to take control of the world and create a world where no more evil is born. How? It was so far-fetched that I couldn't keep up with what was happening. How is the management of the world related to a world where no evil will ever be born? As you probably know, Yuyukan, evil is an entity that collects the negative emotions of all beings living in this world. That's why, in order to eliminate the negative emotions of all living beings, they want to manage the emotions of all humanity. No way. That's ridiculous. Lexi-san shouted at Irizan's words. Of course, what Lexi-chan said is true. It's a messed up idea. It is true that we, the holy, have received the power from this planet to fight against evil. But controlling all the beings on this planet to destroy the evil is unacceptable. I have a question. How can they act so ruthlessly and not be stripped of their holy power? When Luna mentioned the question she had in mind, Iris-san shook her head. Normally, they would be stripped of their power, but these people, maybe it is because of the influence of the divine power. The power of the holy is still intact. From this planet, Urgina-san, I also received the power of holy evil creation. As the name suggests, this power can manipulate the two powers of holy and evil. It was true that evil was a threat to the creatures of this world, but the evil aspect itself was necessary for the world. Trying to erase it completely, let alone manage people who had nothing to do with it, was. So, you mentioned a declaration of war. Is that against some country? No, the whole world. This must be the power of the divine power. They projected themselves into the sky above the whole world and told the world from there. So what happened? When Lexi-san asked this, Iris-san had a difficult expression on her face. Regardless of whether they are part of the holy, no country would accept such a ridiculous idea of managing humanity. So right now, the situation has begun to divide into two main groups: those who are just standing by and watching the situation quietly, and those who are organizing a strike force. As I recall, the kingdom of Arcelia has been quiet about this. Father. The kingdom of Arcelia, ruled by Lexia-san's father Arnold-sama, seems to be watching the situation for now. They are in no way obeying this holy. They are just working to understand the situation. Iris-san, who is this holy who is trying to control humanity? The Katana Saint Shuzekiran. With an expression of disgust on her face, Iris-san spoke the name. Thank you for watching Pages with Sidra. I hope you enjoyed this chapter of I got a cheat ability in a different world and became extraordinary even in the real world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more volumes and novels. Let's keep exploring these amazing stories together. See you in the next one.